22. Use physical lures. Now, more than ever, our minds are in a state of constant distraction, barraged with endless information, pulled in every direction. Many of us recognize the problem. Articles are written, studies are completed, but they simply become more information to digest. It is almost impossible to turn off an overactive mind. The attempt simply triggers more thoughts, an inescapable hall of mirrors. Perhaps we turn to alcohol, to drugs, to physical activity, anything to help us slow the mind, be more present in the moment. Our discontent presents the crafty seducer with infinite opportunity. The waters around you are teeming with people seeking some kind of release from mental overstimulation. The lure of the unencumbered physical pleasure will make them take your bait. But as you prowl the waters, understand, the only way to relax a distracted mind is to make it focus on one thing. A hypnotist asks the patient to focus on a watch swinging back and forth. Once the patient focuses, the mind relaxes, the senses awaken, the body becomes prone to all kinds of novel sensations and suggestions. As a seducer, you are a hypnotist, and what you are making the target focus on is you. Throughout the seductive process, you have been filling the target's mind. Letters, mementos, shared experiences keep you constantly present even when you're not there. Now, as you shift to the physical part of the seduction, you must see your targets more often. Your attention must become more intense. Errol Flynn was a master at this game. When he homed in on a victim, he dropped everything else. The woman was made to feel that everything came second to her. His career, his friends, everything. Then he would take her on a little trip, preferably with water around. Slowly, the rest of the world would fade into the background, and Flynn would take center stage. The more your targets think of you, the less they are distracted by thoughts of work and duty. When the mind focuses on one thing, it relaxes. And when the mind relaxes, all the little paranoid thoughts that we are prone to, do you really like me? Am I intelligent or beautiful enough? What does the future hold? Vanish from the surface. Remember, it all starts with you. Be undistracted, present in the moment, and the target will follow suit. The intense gaze of the hypnotist creates a similar reaction in the patient. Once the target's overactive mind starts to slow down, their senses will come to life, and your physical lures will have double their power. Now, a heated glance will give them flush. You will have a tendency to employ physical lures that work primarily on the eyes, the sense we most rely on in our culture. Physical appearances are critical, but you are after a general agitation of the senses. The senses are interconnected. An appeal to smell will trigger touch. An appeal to touch will trigger vision, casual or accidental contact. Better a brushing of the skin than something more forceful right now will create a jolt and activate the eyes. Subtly modulate the voice, make it slower and deeper. Living senses will crowd out rational thought. The seducer leads the victim to a point where he or she reveals involuntary signs of physical excitation that can be read in various symptoms. Once those signs are detected, the seducer must work quickly, applying pressure on the target to get lost in the moment, the past, the future, all moral scruples vanishing in air. Once your victims lose themselves in the moment, it's all over. Their mind, their conscience no longer holds them back. The body gives in to pleasure. In leading your victims into the moment, remember a few things. First, a disordered look has more effect on the senses than a neat appearance. It suggests the bedroom. Second, be alert to the signs of physical excitation. Blushing, trembling of the voice, tears, unusually forceful laughter, relaxing movements of the body, any kind of involuntary mirroring, their gestures imitating yours, a revealing slip of the tongue. These are signs that the victim is slipping into the moment and pressure is to be applied. Seduction, like warfare, is often a game of distance and closeness. At first, you track your enemy from a distance. Your main weapons are your eyes and a mysterious manner. The key is to make the look short and to the point, then look away, like a rapier glancing the flesh. Make your eyes reveal desire, and keep the rest of the face still. A smile will spoil the effect. Once the victim is heated up, you quickly bridge the distance, turning to hand-to-hand combat in which you give the enemy no room to withdraw, no time to think or to consider the position in which you've placed him or her. To take the element of fear out of this, use flattery. Make the target feel more masculine or feminine. Praise their charms. It is their fault that you have become so physical and aggressive. There is no greater physical lure than to make the target feel alluring. Remember, the girdle of Aphrodite, which gave her untold seductive powers, included that of sweet flattery. Shared physical activity is always an excellent lure. For Flynn, it was swimming or sailing. In such physical activity, the mind turns off and the body operates according to its own laws. The target's body will follow your lead, will mirror your movements as far as you want it to go. In the moment, all moral considerations fade away and the body returns to a state of innocence. You can partly create that feeling through a devil-may-care attitude. You don't worry about the world or what people think of you. You don't judge your target in any way. Part of Flynn's appeal was his total acceptance of a woman. He wasn't interested in a particular body type, a woman's race, her level of education, her political beliefs. He was in love with her feminine presence. He was luring her into an adventure, free of society's strictures and moral judgments. With him, she could act out a fantasy, which for many was the chance to be aggressive or transgressive, to experience danger. So empty yourself of your tendency to moralize and judge. You have lured your targets into a momentary world of pleasure, soft and accommodating, all rules and taboos thrown out the window.